What's going on, guys? Welcome to the next movie review. Today we're looking at The Call of the Wild, which is the story of a dog named Buck as he's forced into pulling sleds during the Yukon Gold Rush. Eventually he meets a man played by Harrison Ford, and the film follows their adventure deep into the wilderness. This movie's based on a pretty old book, and I'll get it out of the way right now. I haven't read it, so if you have read it and you're kind of curious to see how closely it follows the book or anything like that, I can't answer that. And with that out of the way, let's jump right into my general thoughts on the movie. So right out of the gate, I'll say that Harrison Ford had a much smaller role in the movie than I thought that he would initially. It's very much focused on Buck and his kind of adventure through the entire film, and you've probably read things about how he's fully CGI, and yes, I will admit, the CGI does not mesh very well with the human characters and the real environments, but I can see that from the perspective of a studio. Using a CGI dog is probably more optimal, being that you can kind of just paste whatever emotion you want onto the animal's face. But at the same time, I can't help but think back to films like Homeward Bound and how well they used real animals to still feel very personified in what they do. The story here is pretty simple, and I think it had just enough to kind of keep me entertained. During the first 45 minutes of the film, we see Buck go from living in a California home with a family to living with a full pack of dogs pulling sleds, and eventually to Harrison Ford's cabin, so there's at least always something happening. I think personally my favorite part of the movie is actually the third act. It was surprisingly heartfelt and emotional. But as for the rest of the movie, I feel like it's taking a very simplistic plot about a protagonist that is non-human, just kind of looking and trying to figure out where they belong, and it kind of stretches it out for an hour and 40 minutes. I don't know that I think the movie presented ideas that are ambitious enough to kind of cover that runtime for such a simplistic premise. The human characters, for the most part, don't seem like they add a whole lot to the movie besides Harrison Ford. They feel like they're just there to deliver dialogue, because obviously you can't have the dogs talking. Well, you could, but in this case they don't. And there are definitely certain things that the screenplay can't really convey to the audience without having somebody speak it. And I do have to say that the villain feels straight out of a cartoon. He's just a mustache-twirling douchebag who wants to find as much gold as he can, and that's really all there is to his character. I'm going to stop myself here for a second because I feel like I'm rambling a little bit too much on the things that bothered me. I have to say this is definitely a very fun, family-friendly adventure that kids will most certainly enjoy. There were even some adults that were really laughing a lot in my theater, which I was surprised by because I didn't think the film was that funny. But if you're going to see this, definitely bring the whole family, bring your kids, they'll have a fun time. At the same time, it does lack some ambition, and I feel like the plot as a whole isn't very cohesive. But if you just want a feel-good canine adventure, this film will most certainly deliver that, and I can see a lot of people going to see this and coming out thinking it was really great, especially if they're big fans of the book. I'm going to give The Call of the Wild a B-. This was definitely a rather quick one, but I feel like this is a pretty simple movie. You can go, watch it, enjoy it. It's not amazing, it's not bad, it's just kind of, it's okay. I enjoyed it in spurts. Others might like it more than I did, others might dislike it more than I did. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this video. I know this one was kind of short, but do expect more videos coming. I'm going to be uploading on Sunday a review of the original Quiet Place. I did see that back when it came out, but I wasn't making videos back then, so I want to do a review of that before the second one comes out. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and do let me know down in the comments what you thought of Call of the Wild. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.